Evolution of Tow Mater. Tow Mater makes his first appearance in the 2006 animated movie, Cars, as a supporting character, voiced by Larry the Cable Guy. Here, his body is in the shape of an old 1950s Little hook-'em tow truck, with large, crooked teeth in the front and a tow hook at the back. He initially used to have pale blue paint and light pastel green doors with his name, but it began to get rusty over time, though he still has patches of his original colors visible. Additionally, he also had a hood that somehow got lost before the events of the movie. In the movie, Mater is optimistic, kind, and outgoing, with a heavy rural southern accent, and lives in Radiator Springs, a near ghost town on historic U.S. Route 66. Here, he owns a salvage yard called Tow Mater Towing and Salvage, which has not seen any real work in years, after the town was bypassed by the interstate. In the beginning part of the story, after he meets Lightning McQueen in the impound for destroying the town's main road, he immediately tries to befriend him but ends up being mostly ignored for several days. However, soon he does manage to talk McQueen into joining him for his favorite hobby, tractor tipping, which results in the two frantically escaping Frank, a large red combine harvester. On the drive home, Mater also shows him his special move, the ability to drive backwards with extreme precision, naming himself the world's best backwards driver, which impresses McQueen and causes him to slowly begin to open up to Mater about his fast-paced life as a Piston Cup race car. As they got a bit closer, Mater proclaimed McQueen his best friend after he agreed to let him go on a helicopter ride if he wins the race. Towards the end, Mater initially gets sad and disappointed when McQueen needs to leave Radiator Springs for his race, but soon is made happy again when Doc is revealed to be a former champion and brings Mater and the other residents to help McQueen in the tiebreaker race, during which Mater serves on McQueen's pit crew with others, giving him the power and support to win. Afterwards, Mater really manages to ride in the Dinoco helicopter, which McQueen had promised him in the town. Mater appears next in the 2006 animated short special, Mater and the Ghostlight, as a titular protagonist, reprised again by Larry the Cable Guy. In the short, he is shown pranking the Radiator Springs residents, one of whom is McQueen himself, whom he scares by creating a structure with a hook, similar to himself, drawing him close to it, and then jumping out of nowhere, causing him to jump away in panic. After which, Mater exclaims that McQueen looks like he has seen the Ghostlight, an urban legend among the cars, with Sheriff warning him not to mock the Ghostlight. Towards the end, as Mater reaches his salvage yard, he is frightened by a lightning bug, and then by a bright blue glow that suddenly appeared behind him, causing him to go into a blind panic and race around Radiator Springs until exhaustion. The Ghostlight turned out to be a glowing blue lantern placed on Mater's tow hook by McQueen and Guido as payback for Mater's pranks. Next, Mater appears in his very own TV short series, Cars Toons, Mater's Tall Tales, as the titular protagonist. The series centers around Mater and McQueen during their various humorous adventures, with each episode following a similar pattern of Mater being prompted by someone or something to recall his past experiences and deeds, which he then retells to McQueen as stories, who always ends up disbelieving them, causing Mater to then tell him that he was actually there too. During each story, both Mater and McQueen change their appearances and locations, such as in the episode Rescue Squad Mater, when Mater becomes a new, red and shiny fire truck, and then a green doctor truck, or in the episode Heavy Metal Mater, when he becomes a rock star, in black leather with metal accessories. In the official animated sequel movie, Cars 2, Mater appears as one of the two main characters, voiced by Larry the Cable Guy. In the movie, set 5 years after the events of the first one, at the beginning, Mater is shown happily reuniting and hanging out with McQueen after he returned to Radiator Springs. Soon after, Mater is invited by McQueen to be his crew chief during his next race competition in the World Grand Prix. However, after their journey to Tokyo and initial excitement about their adventures there, Mater and McQueen have a falling out due to Mater causing McQueen's first loss in the race because of his accidental entanglement with spy agents, which McQueen at first doesn't believe in. Eventually, Mater proves to McQueen that he was telling the truth by showing him a bomb in his hood, after which McQueen apologizes and they reunite as best friends. Later, Mater helps the spies catch the mastermind behind the nefarious incidents at the competition, Miles Axelrod, prompting the Queen of England to grant him an honorary knighthood as a result. Back in Radiator Springs, Mater is shown competing in the unofficial Radiator Springs Grand Prix with Lightning and also appearing during the credits with him, driving through various locations around the world before finally returning back to Radiator Springs. Next, Mater appears in the 2017 third movie sequel, Cars 3, in a supporting role, voiced again by Larry the Cable Guy. 5 years following the events of the previous movie, at the beginning, Mater enthusiastically attends McQueen's Piston Cup races in his pit stall, going as far as wearing over-the-top novelty hats to encourage his best friend. Soon after, Mater bids farewell to McQueen and also asks him to call back after arriving to the Florida 500 race. During their video call, they both have a heart-to-heart conversation in which Mater helps McQueen remember Doc Hudson's mentor and crew chief, Smokey, who could help train him. At the end, he is shown to be cheering for McQueen and his racing partner, Cruz, before and after they become the winners, and also back in Radiator Springs after the race, when McQueen reveals that he would continue racing. In the credits, Mater can be first seen visiting the Rust-eze Racing Center, and then in a post-credits scene, while singing a funny song and cleaning in his lot, when his iPad rang, causing him to jump in fright and inadvertently knock over his reception antenna, along with tires, destroying FaceTime on his iPad, much to his dismay. In the 2017 animated short Miss Fritter's Racing Skoool, Mater makes a brief cameo at the beginning, wearing his lightning hat, after McQueen's and Cruz's win in the previous movie. Next, Mater reappears in the TV show Pixar Popcorn, first in the episode Unparalleled Parking, playing a parking game with his friends, and then in Dancing with the Cars at Flo's V8 Cafe, dancing together with McQueen and their friends. In the animated miniseries Cars on the Road, Mater appears in the main role, again voiced by Larry the Cable Guy. In the show, set after the events of the third movie, Mater, together with McQueen, goes on a road trip across the United States to attend his sister's wedding. Their journey is filled with lots of fun new friends, exciting places, and interesting situations. After which, upon their arrival, it is revealed that Mater comes from a wealthy family and that Mato's fiancé is Mateo, the cousin of McQueen's protege and student, Cruz Ramirez. Meanwhile, Mater and Mato reunite, re-sparking their sibling rivalry until Cruz helps them reconcile. At the wedding, Mater makes a speech that allows McQueen to come to terms with his experiences and decide to return to Radiator Springs by road instead of plane as he planned. The animated short series Lego Pixar Bricktoons features a Lego version of Mater as a titular guest character in the episode Cars. Trust your all-pal Mater, along with McQueen and other Pixar characters. In the story, at the beginning, Mater is cheering up after McQueen as he trains for a race, but then accidentally scares him and causes his crash, after which he apologizes and, together with Ramon, tries to fix him. As they repair him, McQueen feels uncertain that he can win with the parts they were choosing, after which Mater reassures and motivates him by saying that he always won before, not because of the parts he had, but because he wasn't willing to quit, and that giving up is worse than losing, as well as that no one knows the outcome unless they try. At the end, Mater gets praised and invited on the stage by McQueen after his victory, as well as publicly acknowledged to be the true reason behind his victory.